Our next speaker is Mr. Colin Gonsalves. He is a distinguished senior advocate at the Supreme Court of India and is a founder of the Human Rights Law Network. Over to you.
So the first thing I'd like to say is that Rohingyas have substantial constitutional rights in this country. All refugees have substantial rights. The only trouble is many of us, even the enlightened, don't know that. And the government story, I remember Juju when he was Minister of State, Home. He threatened to evict en masse all the 40,000 Rohingyas who were staying in the country. And I remember Subramaniam Swamy saying we are evicting them because they are criminals. They have a criminal past. So this story has gone around for so long that we buy into this narrative and we think they have no rights. And we've not signed the Refugee Convention, therefore we have no rights, which is totally incorrect. Yes, we've not signed the Refugee Convention, but we have our Constitution, and it doesn't matter at all because the Constitution protects everyone within the territory of India. The right to life is not right to life for citizens of India. The right to life is for everyone within the boundaries of India. Anyway, so Juju went on with that narrative for a long time. And then I and others, we went to the Supreme Court with well-prepared petitions. It's something we can actually share with you if any of you would like to have a copy. Because you can use that pleading whenever you go. If you go to Kolkata or you go to any of the border areas and you find that they are being evicted, you can use these petitions and go to the local High Court, to the state High Court. In Jammu and Kashmir, we found Rohingyas who were brought there by Reliance. Reliance needed to, put its cables underground or something like that. So then we went from settlement to settlement and found large number of virtually slave labor kind of condition where they hadn't the capacity to negotiate wages, so they were paid really very badly and made to work. And the story in the press was that they've come to the border areas because they had some political intention of undermining the sovereignty of India. So Article 21 is the right to life for anyone within the boundary. And all that we have to do, which we don't do really, we should blame ourselves in India for our lack of attention and our lack of care. Our lack of care. Forget Myanmar. Forget any other country. Bangladesh, of course, has, said something good recently in the papers. But it's just that Indians don't care really. That racism that we have in our blood is a very deep thing. And it permeates even progressive people. It's just there. All you have to do is to go take a lawyer, take somebody of some good intention and file a case. You can file a case in the Delhi High Court. We filed our case in the Delhi High Court. And the government came up with the usual reply that you don't have rights, you've not signed the convention. So Article 21, as I said, is a constitutional right. When you say right to life, how does it play out in the case of a refugee? Deportation exposes the refugee to a threat on life. Can you imagine sending a Rohingya back to Myanmar or any other place? You might get killed. If you're a woman, you might get raped. So, no refoulement, which is an international principle, is applicable in Indian constitutional law also. Because no refoulement is just another way of saying protect the life of a refugee who when returned she will be subjected to violence. That's all, as simple as that. And it's there in judgments. It's not something very novel today, but it's there in the judgments of our court. So that's what we have to do. And I've been telling Shabiq, I've been complaining to him, but fighting with him a little bit also at times. He does a lot of work, but I really need him to organize the Indian situation of resistance better. Much better. And we can stop deportations. We can try and stop deportations everywhere in the country, wherever it happens. Whether it's in Hyderabad or Jammu and Kashmir or anywhere. Subramaniam Swami, of course, with his usual lack of knowledge of things, said that we are going to deport people because they are criminals. And we were working with the refugees in Jammu. So we went. I went with the team and we went from village to village. And every village we stopped, we went to the local police station and asked, is there any are the Rohingyas here? These were Rohingya camps, 16 at that time. I think now much fewer. They've been shifted out to some other place. God knows where they shift them. So the SHO would say, look through his diary and then say, oh, no, nothing serious. Some fights among the Rohingyas and some arguments and some theft case and so on. I said, any terrorism case, sir? Any murder case? He said, no. So we went to all the camps. So when I had come back, I was quite familiar with the situation. And when he made this statement, Subramanian Swami, I told him, Swami, sir, you're a very respected lawyer. Indeed. And, I was listening very carefully to you. But Swami, sir, I need you to clarify something. I've been to the camps. I've talked to the SHO. SHO says not a single case of terrorism. So, sir, can you please check immediately and tell me where you got your data from that they were criminals? You won't believe it. He got up from the podium. You have these breaks for advertisements. He got up from his seat and left the auditorium because I was going to carry on pressing him for where he got that information from. Then if you go to the Rohingya camp, that's one, the deportation part. But there's another part equally sad. If you go to the camps in Haryana and so on where the Rohingyas are, where the Rohingya women can be seen in large numbers. Wow, they drink water from the streams. Can you imagine India, GDP 7%, they're drinking water from the streams and getting sick and pregnant women are falling ill. Awful. So we took another case and the Solicitor General there was on the back foot. He didn't know what to say. So he said, of course, Rohingyas are entitled to the same economic rights as Indian citizens are. So I told the court, please record that, sir. That's a deadly admission. Never does India acknowledge that, you have the same economic rights. Food, health, education, housing as an Indian citizen. And he was so bold as to say, I told him, sir, you go to the hospitals. They don't allow Rohingyas into hospitals, government hospitals. Why? Because this is a hospital for Indian citizens. You're a foreigner. And you're a Muslim. My God. So you don't allow them into your hospitals. They may die, but you don't allow them in your hospitals. You go to schools and the school authorities will tell you, our schools are for Indians. Not for foreigners, and certainly not for Muslim foreigners. And housing, you should have actually, for a refugee, you must have a house, some kind of decent housing. They're all in camps. Then the burning of camps began all over the country. All these racist guys started burning camps of Rohingyas. So we are a country with a despicable record, with a prime minister and a home minister also with an equally despicable record. But at least in civil society, we can certainly, muster our forces a bit have Rohingya lookout centers, Rohingya legal aid centers in different parts of the country. And we can certainly provide some credible defense for Rohingyas from today onwards at least. Thank you.